Just when you think you've conquered the ego, it changes its disguise. At the final stage of growth, the ego no longer says, I am better than you. It whispers something far more dangerous, I am enlightened. This is where most people fall, not because they know too little, but because they believe they've arrived. Jim Rohn warned us, the last enemy to master is the ego, hiding behind wisdom. Welcome back to Wisdom Swing, where success is not only measured by achievement, but by awareness. Today's message goes beyond money, habits, and discipline. It speaks to the inner journey, the journey Jim Rohn believed was essential to true maturity and peace. This episode is about the subtle ego, the ego that survives success, knowledge, and even spirituality. Because the greatest danger is not ignorance. Early in life, ego is loud. It wants validation, recognition, dominance. But as you grow, as you learn, discipline yourself, and develop spiritually, the ego becomes quieter and smarter. Jim Rohn taught that growth does not eliminate ego, it refines it. At advanced stages, ego hides behind wisdom, humility, false humility, spiritual language, moral superiority, and the moment you think, I am beyond ego, is often the moment it has control again. The spiritual overachiever trap. One of the final ego traps is becoming proud of your growth. You begin to measure others' awareness, judge those less evolved, identify as the one who knows. Jim Rohn warned against this mindset. True wisdom never announces itself. True maturity never looks down. The moment growth becomes identity, the ego has found a new costume. Knowledge used as armor, spiritual knowledge, can become armor. Instead of opening the heart, it builds walls. You use insight to defend your position, avoid vulnerability, justify emotional distance. Jim Rohn emphasized, knowledge must soften you, not harden you. If learning increases pride, it's not wisdom, it's decoration. Humility is not self-denial. True humility is not saying, I am nothing. It is knowing, I am always becoming. Jim Rohn taught that humility is remaining teachable forever. The ego hates being a student. It wants graduation, but growth has no diploma. The need to be right is ego's final grip at higher stages. Ego no longer needs applause, it needs to be right. It disguises certainty as clarity. Jim Rohn reminded us, wisdom listens more than it speaks. If you feel disturbed when challenged, ego is still present. Peace comes from openness, not from dominance. Surrender vs. achievement. Early growth is about achievement. Later, growth is about surrender. Surrender of control, superiority, identity. Jim Rohn believed that the highest form of discipline is letting go. You don't rise by proving, you rise by releasing. Compassion is the true measure of growth. Spiritual maturity is not how much you know, but how gently you treat others. Jim Rohn said, the more you know, the more you understand why others struggle. If growth makes you impatient, something has gone wrong. Wisdom creates compassion, ego creates comparison. Living the paradox, the final paradox of growth. The wiser you become, the less certain you feel. The stronger you grow, the softer you act, the more you know, the less you claim. Jim Rohn lived this quietly. No performance, no preaching, just presence. Here's the truth few talk about. The ego doesn't disappear. It must be managed daily, not through force but through humility. Growth is not about becoming superior, it's about becoming sincere. Stay curious, stay gentle, stay unfinished. That is real spiritual maturity. Thank you for spending this moment with Wisdom Swing. If this message resonated, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone on their inner journey. Comment below, I choose humility over identity. Follow the channel, walk the path slowly, and remember, build wisdom, live gently, keep growing. It's believing you've outgrown the need to grow.